Bam! My peoples. My peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Y'all know what we doing, man. We talking boxing. I'm Jay Smith. Let me kick this thing off by saying it's a beautiful morning to be alive, to be enjoying the sweet science. Thank you, God, for giving us another one, man. It don't matter if it's cold, high, whatever the case may be where you at, but if you breathe and if you up, it's a beautiful day, my peoples. Thank you, God, for giving us another one. Let me kick this thing off by saying salute to those who's already tuned in, JJ's and Dejas. Nice and early, golly, 3 in the morning in California. Side, salute my brother in the building, Queeb, Toy Mafia. What's the deal, fellas? Check it, man. We had a very interesting weekend of boxing. We have to talk about it. And we got upsets. We got stoppages. It was just an action-packed Saturday night of boxing. We got to talk about all of it, man. But we're going to start off with the first fight of Saturday, Carmel Moton. Or at least the first fight that we got to enjoy. 722 Marines. Salute, family. Bam! God gave us another one, brother. We got to make the best of it. Carmel Moton, my peoples, improved to 9-0. He got the TKO stoppage of his opponent. After the second round, they had to pull the plug. They was like, okay, let's stop this fight. Carmel was putting the Swiss, the Dre, and the Apple beats on his opponent. And Carmel, he's being developed the right way. The young lion, did it in spectacular fashion. You see him letting the hands fly. Look, I'm going to tell you guys like this, man. One thing that I like about Carmel Moton is that he has that killer instinct. Once he hurt you, he's going to let them hands go, and you're either going to go down or they're going to stop the fight because you're out there getting beat up. One thing that you notice about Carmel, when he start throwing combinations, is never just 1-2 or 1-2-3. Carmel Moton will hit you with the 1-2-3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like he will really unload upon thee. And another thing that you don't see that often in younger fighters like Carmel, he constantly mixes up his combinations. You see him going to the body, going to the head, then going right back down to the body. He's out there to hurt you, and it's hard to defend against a fighter who does that because you're trying to defend punches to the head, but then he's catching you to the body. You lower your hand a little bit, then he's catching you to the dome piece. It's tough, and you saw in round number 2, he had his opponent in the corner. Bing, 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 bing. After the round finished, the corner threw in the towel. It was like, that's it. We got to stop this. Our homie over here getting beat up. Because that's what Carmel was doing, beating him up. So salute to Carmel Moton. Did what he had to do to improve to 9-0. You're going to see him slowly but surely picking up in competition, facing tougher opponents. And let's see, it's only a matter of time before Carmel becomes a champion. Not in 2026. He's still in that development process. But I'm telling you, my people, Carmel Moton is going to be looking to become a world champion within the next couple of years. And he's going to have a long reign. A long one, because he's going to win titles in multiple divisions. He's going to unify titles. He's going to do all type of stuff. Be on the lookout for Carmel Moton, my peoples. That was, he was his usual self. That's how I'm going to have to describe it. Carmel Moton was his usual self, my peoples. Side, if he got you in position, he's teeing off. That's a fact. That is a fact. And the thing about Carmel, you better not shell up against him. You better not pull one of these. If you pull one of these on him, you are cooked. Because his hands is so fast that he's like pop, 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 pop. eating them up, my peoples. So again, salute to Carmel Moton and his team. They did what they had to do, improve to 9-0. Let's see what's next for Carmel. Now, this right here was an upset that nobody expected. Whoa, my peoples. Side, do you think Zaquin and Carmel gonna meet as pros? That is 100% going to happen. And when it does, it's gonna be a super fight. I will compare Carmel Moton and Zaquin Moses to Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. We haven't got that one yet, but I think at some point we're gonna have to get that fight. You know, Shakur versus Devin has to happen. And Carmel versus Zaquin is gonna be the same type of deal, the same magnitude. It's going to be a huge fight. I don't think it's going to happen early on because it is going to be an important fight. So I think, you know, they'll wait until both of them become world champions, or at least one of them is a world champion and they're both big stars, and then they're going to meet up. But that fight has to and will happen. 722. There are some promising young fighters out here. What are your thoughts on the Grady brothers? So, you know, I had been following them for some time when they were smaller and they went viral. Right now, to be honest, I don't know because I haven't seen the type of, not just the type of opposition that they're facing because they're early in their career. So obviously they're going to be facing easier opponents to beat. But I haven't been following up like that. You know, my last impression of them, though, was that they have the potential to be like the Charlo brothers, where they can actually become champions simultaneously in two different divisions. That can actually happen. My peoples, did you guys see this fight? Whoa. Usyk Foster, Lorenzo Parra. First of all, let me just say, I expected Usyk Foster to do, what the hell am I talking about, Shakur Foster? Elijah Pierce. Elijah Pierce versus Lorenzo Parra. Didn't play out the way we expected it. Elijah Pierce, you know, he's an elite level fighter. And I 100% expected for him to handle business. That's why I was thinking about Usyk Foster, because I was watching a video of him and Ray Savage going at it. So this fight right here, I'm going to give you a quick breakdown of what happened. You know, first round, you saw Usyk establishing... Shakur Foster, man, watching that video, I keep thinking about him. You saw this fight, the way that it kicked off, and you saw the jab in the first round. But Lorenzo Parra, from the very first round, you saw him, you know, letting the bombs fly. You see when a fighter is already warmed up, that he's really letting the hands go hard, like trying to hurt his opponent. You saw that in round one. Queens, salute family. You saw that in round one from Lorenzo Parra, where he was really trying to put hands. And I'm watching that fight, and in round number one, I said it like, yo, wait a minute. You know, Elijah Pierce is looking real calm, real collected. But Lorenzo Parra looking like he trying to inflict damage early on. What is going on out here? And in the first round, you know, I noticed, okay, you see Elijah Pierce taking it easy, taking his time, looking to get into his rhythm. And Parra was just unloading, and he actually caught him with a big shot and buckled him. Buckled his legs. I was like, oh, shit, what's going on out here? Okay. Round number two kicks off, and it's kind of like the same deal. You see how Elijah Pierce is, you know, using that jab effectively, but Parra's looking to unload early. It's like he doesn't want to let him get in rhythm. And he finally caught him with a big shot in the second round. Boom, and hurt him. and you saw Elijah Pierce back up against the corner. That was this corner right here. And then Parra just went in for the kill. Called him a right, a left, a right, a left. And the referee had to waive it. But you know that he hurt him. You know that a fighter is badly hurt when he's getting hit and not defending against those hits. So Elijah Pierce wanted to keep going. After he got up off the floor, he wanted to keep going. Thing is, when you're hurt, you don't realize how hurt you actually are. And why I'm telling you this, look, if you watch that fight, Elijah Pierce's hands was down here. Like, he wasn't even holding them up. They were down here. And he was like, boom, 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 boom. When the referee went to wave it, he fell to the floor, and you saw that he tried to get up and fell again, like rolling in the floor. So he was really hurt. And he wanted to keep going. But it was a good stoppage, y'all. It was, you know, and I was rooting for Elijah Pierce. I thought he was going to win this fight. But I got to be, you guys know, I call it how I see it, man. That was a legitimate stoppage. Salute to Lorenzo Parra. He got the biggest win of his career, became a intercontinental champion. And once you have one of those belts, intercontinental and all of that, that's like a secondary title. And it puts you in line, puts you in position to fight for the main title. So, congratulations to Lorenzo Parra. Got the monster upset. I don't think anyone there expected him to win that fight. In fact, when the referee waved it, they pointed the camera at the crowd, and you saw people were stunned. You saw folks in the crowd like, I remember they pointed at a girl, and she was like, people just couldn't believe it. Because obviously this was the main event, and most of the people were there to watch Elijah Pierce defend his title and put the beats on his opponent. Well, Lorenzo Parra showed up with different plans. Him and his team executed. And, yo, they got him out of there in 2 rounds. The unexpected. Listen, I do have to point this out. Keep this in mind. Elijah Pierce said that he's definitely going to get a rematch. He's going to get his rematch for sure. I don't know if he had a rematch clause or what, but he said, I'm going to get the rematch and I'm going to get him back. And I think that he could beat this opponent. It's not going to be an easy win. If he's able to get the win in the rematch, it won't be an easy one because Lorenzo Parra showed us that he could fight. He could fight. He could bang. He got power. When somebody stop you in the second round, you know what they bring to the table. And that's the thing. He didn't just catch him with one shot, boom, and get him out of there. He heard him, smelled blood, and went after him. Bam, 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 bam. Got him out of there. So we already know Lorenzo Parra is going to be a dangerous opponent for anybody in the division. Let's see. Let's see if we're going to get a rematch to this fight. But it was, you know, it was only 2 rounds, but it was 2 rounds of legit action, y'all. Moving on to the next one. But again, congratulations to Lorenzo Parra. He becomes a world champion. Now, did you guys see Emiliano Vargas? Whoa, my peoples. Emiliano Vargas had a tough opponent to deal with. Whoa. What a fight. Listen, this was not an easy win. Emiliano Vargas was trading leather with his opponent for 9 rounds. He was slowly breaking him down, but his opponent, Augustine, I can't remember his last name, man. Damn, chat, if you guys can help me out. Emiliano Vargas' opponent's name, full name, what is it? But this was a very competitive fight. Emiliano Vargas had to go to war. He was involved in a dogfight. He was getting caught with some good shots. He was losing some rounds. You know, he was getting caught slipping. Canana. Augustine Quintana. Whoa, my people. Augustine Quintana. Remember the name because sometimes, and I mentioned this before, sometimes a fighter loses, but their stock still goes up because of the way that they lost. Quintana, his stock is up, I promise you. He showed that he can fight. He showed that he's a very good counterpuncher. He was catching Emiliano Vargas with some good shots. It was competitive. But I think after like maybe the 6th round, he started slowing down just a bit. Those body shots from Emiliano Vargas, they started to take a toll on him. And now that he started to slow down, Vargas started to let the hands go a little bit more, started catching him with bigger shots, you know, more accurate with his punches. And ultimately, what ended up happening is that the referee had to pull the plug on the fight after round number 9. So, in round number 8, the doctor went to see Quintana. Why? Because at that point, he had two cuts, both eyes had a cut, but the right eye was really swollen, almost swollen shut. Like he barely had it open like this. He had it kind of like this. So they checked the eye out and they let him continue. But he was getting hit with some, then in round number 9, he got hit with some hard left hooks in the eye that it's like he didn't see it coming. Like he didn't even try to block it. Boom, boom. And after round number 9, they pulled the plug. The referee, I think it was the ref, that waved it. Because that's it. By that time, the eye was completely shut. He wanted to keep fighting. He was super upset. No Jimenez, salute family. Chris Fonson, bam, in the building. Hit that like button, my people. No ghost watching in 2026. Listen, Quintana's eye was completely swollen shut. So I know that there's a lot of people who say, nah, they should have let him keep going. Al Booger, salute family. They should have let him keep going because he wanted to keep fighting. But y'all got to remember, sometimes you got to save a fighter from themselves because his eye was completely shut. He couldn't see out of that eye. So I understand that he's a warrior. He's tough. He want to keep going. But you're not going to let him walk out of that fight blind or maybe in a stretcher because he got hit with a shot he didn't see coming and went down. Nah, it was a legitimate stoppage. I understand that he wanted to keep going, but it was a good stoppage. Emiliano Vargas, that's a very good win against a real tough opponent. And Emiliano Vargas says that this year he wants to fight at least a former world champion. And after that, he wants to get a title shot. So Emiliano Vargas would like to face a former champion next and get a title shot at the end of the year or early next year. This young man, I'm telling you, my peoples, he has the potential to become a superstar. Superstar status. He has the potential to surpass his father. And if you enjoyed boxing back then, you know Fernando Vargas became a big star. He ended up, losing some tough fights against Oscar De La Hoya, Tito Trinidad early on. But he was a big star. And Emiliano Vargas can actually surpass him. Because even Fernando Vargas said it himself, he's like me without the bad vices. Because Fernando Vargas used to be drinking, used to be smoking, used to be partying. This kid right here is, and his pop said it, he's 100% an athlete. He lives a 100% athlete life. He's in the gym, he's working out, he's training. You never see him out of shape. Let's see. Let's see where Emiliano Vargas is going with it. But this was a very good performance from his side. He had a tough opponent to deal with and did what he had to do to walk out of there with the dub. I like Emiliano. Hopefully he can pull it off. Did he go to college too? I don't know. I'm not sure about the college thing. What I am sure about is that this kid is special, man. He got a certain level of talent that if he stays focused, he's going to accomplish a lot in the sport of boxing, for sure. Salute to Emiliano Vargas. Salute to Fernando Vargas. He's doing a great job with his sons, preparing them to do big things. Yes, sir. And then, of course, my peoples, we got the main event. Sugar Nunes versus Emmanuel Navarrete. Whoa, my people. What a fight. What a fight. Queen, which former champion should he fight? Honestly, I'm not sure. I think that they would go after someone who probably wasn't a champion too recently. Somebody who may be a little bit over the hill but was a former world champion. I think they would do something like that. But I'm not sure what name they would target. If you guys saw this main event, you know that it played out exactly like I told you, my peoples. I said this was going to turn into a slugfest. It took a little bit longer than I expected because I thought it was going to happen early. So if you did watch the fight, here's the quick breakdown. The first 4 rounds, easy work for Navarrete. He was using that long jab and then, working behind it, using his combinations like he always does. And Sugar Nunes, for the first 4 rounds, he was backing away, using the lateral movement, trying to counterpunch 1 and 2 punches at a time. And he was getting clipped. He couldn't find his range. And as those 4 rounds was progressing, I said, listen, my peoples, he got to make adjustments. If Sugar Nunes keep fighting like this, he's going to get shut out. He has to start applying pressure. He has to start going forward. He has to be first. He was reacting off of what Navarrete was doing, trying to counterpunch. And that wasn't working out. And I said, look, he has to go first if he wants to have a chance. In round number 5, he started doing exactly that. Shakur hands, salute, my brother. In round number 5, you saw Sugar Nunes starting to go forward, starting to work the body, a lot of body punches, and then going to the head. And he started winning some rounds. It turned into a slugfest, exactly like I told you it would. Real competitive, but Navarrete was still winning the fight, was still landing the biggest shots, and was landing some monster shots to the dome piece, to the wig piece, to the snack box. My people's Navarrete. And yes, what I told you guys was on display. Look, Navarrete is the only fighter in boxing right now that he could be off balance, feet tangled up all over the place, and he's still... I don't know how he does it, my people. How you not even sitting on your punches and you still putting mad power behind them shits. And by the way, Navarrete is 130-pounder. He looked like he was weighing $150 or something. He looked big as hell in front of Sugar Nunes. I don't know. Look, I don't know how long Navarrete is going to be able to stay at 130 division, but his size, man. And that he one of the people, if you watch him, and even if you look at the measurements, he's one of these people. You know the folks who, when they standing up, their arms reach almost up to their knees and shit. They got the real long arms that go all the way down here. Navarrete is one of those people who got the... Look, he's only like 1 inch taller than Sugar Nunes. But his arms is like 3 inches longer. So he got the long-ass arms. He looked big as hell. I don't know how much he rehydrated to. Looked like he was like 150 or something like that. But it turned into a slugfest. Sugar Nunes started, to close the gap, trading leather with him, making him back up into the corner. But even when Navarrete had his back up against the ropes, you see the uppercuts. At one point, he caught Sugar Nunes. Who else does that, man? A lot of people don't do that. You know what it is to hit somebody with an uppercut from all the way over here? Boom! Man far. But most boxers don't do that shit from this far. Boom! But Navarrete, he's awkward, man. He's awkward. He punches you when his feet is off balance. He catches you with an uppercut from a mile away. Caught him with a nasty uppercut. The real King George, natural born fighter, will go far because they have blood in their veins by generations of family. Look, man, that's one thing. If you're talking about the Vargas family, they trying to build a dynasty, bro. But again, and I gotta say something. If you think about it, Emmanuel Navarrete is a fighter who's kind of flying under the radar. If you think about his accomplishments, I mean, this dude is already a 3-division champion, and now he's a unified champion in the 130 division. So come on now, Emmanuel Navarrete, my peoples, he's a problem. He's a serious problem. I don't know. Y'all remember what he did to Oscar Valdez? Put the Swiss, the Dre, and the Apple Beats on Oscar Valdez. So Emmanuel Navarrete, man, salute, congratulations to him. Did what he had to do to walk out of there with the W. And by the way, this fight, it was kind of like Usyk Foster, who got stopped, but he wanted to keep fighting. But now he couldn't keep going anymore. The same thing here. Sugar Nunes wanted to keep going. It was only 1 round to go, but he was out there getting pummeled already. In round number 11, he took a lot of punishment, a lot of big shots to the head. And the referee pulled the plug. I respect that. To me, that was a legitimate stoppage. So look at this quick recap. Look at a recap. Carmel Moton, after the 2nd round, the corner of the other fighter threw the towel. He won by TKO. Elijah Pierce, he got pummeled, and the referee waved it. He got stopped by TKO. That was an upset. Emiliano Vargas, he had a tough fight with Canana, but ultimately, the referee pulled the plug. That was a TKO stoppage. And then Navarrete and Sugar Nunes, they went at it for 11 rounds. Sugar Nunes made it an interesting fight, but ultimately, Navarrete was teeing off on him. That was a TKO stoppage. So a lot of people was getting stopped. That's the type of action that it was. Presidente Fedez Morelia. For sure, Navarrete is wild and weird with his boxing, but I like it. He's taking a big risk with his style, but I respect it. For sure, man. I'm telling you, Navarrete, it's like he does it a lot where he's off balance, but still throwing punches, hard punches. That uppercut from a mile away, you playing a dangerous game, because from that distance, you are like that, boom, you get caught and you getting brutalized. But he's an awkward fighter, man, and a guy like that is very hard to time him. It's very hard to figure him out. He don't have an undefeated record. He's lost before, but man, you see what it is. He's already a 3-division champion. Now he's a unified champion. Much respect and congratulations to Emmanuel Navarrete, y'all. For real, he is the truth. And let's see who's gonna be able to beat him. Who? My peoples, let's segue real quick into Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. The letter M, Navarrete will get knocked out by an elite counterpuncher. Let's see it, man. Sugar Nunes is a real good counterpuncher and couldn't do it. My people, look at this new development. First, let me point this out. Ryan Garcia says his cousin beat Devin Haney's little brother to give him his first L. The Garcias don't lose to the Haneys. Ryan Garcia is an elite level internet troll where he wants to be. So let me say this so y'all can see how interesting things develop in boxing, how interesting it is. You guys probably remember that Devin Haney said the ship has sailed on the Ryan Garcia fight. He's not going to fight him because Ryan wasn't in VADA testing. The ship sailed, we not fighting. That's what he said, right? But he said that before Ryan Garcia fought Mario Barrios. He may have thought that Ryan Garcia was probably going to lose that fight. And if he lost, obviously, there wasn't going to be that interest in fighting him. Ryan Garcia wins the fight, right? And what happens when he wins the fight? Him and Shakur Stevenson start going back and forth on social media. Now I want you to think about this. Ryan Garcia and Shakur Stevenson pretty much already said let's fight on social media. At 140, I'm going to take your belt. Bet. Let's do it. They pretty much agreed. You know, no contracts, no nothing like that. But on social media, they pretty much agreed to fight. Devin sees that, and he's like, oh shit, Shakur's going to steal my fight. And now he wants to fight Ryan. He said he wasn't going to fight him. He said the ship sailed on that fight. But then he realized, wait a minute. Ryan Garcia is the only guy to ever beat my ass in the ring. Yes, we know the controversy and all the stuff. But he did beat him, right? The results were overturned. But he did beat him. Even if they erased that one from his record, you can't erase that ass whooping from our mind. We saw it. So Devin Haney saw that, was like, oh shit, if Ryan fights Shakur Stevenson before me, Shakur Stevenson is going to get the credit for beating the guy that whooped my ass. I can't have that. I got to fight Ryan first before Shakur. And now Devin Haney wants to fight Ryan Garcia. But it wasn't that long ago he was like, yo, the ship sailed on that fight. We're not fighting him. Charles Bruce, salute, family. Bam. So then, watch this. Watch this. Look what Devin Haney says. It has the bad blood. It's a unification now. It's the biggest fight in boxing. And right now, it's the time. Ryan Garcia says, let's start the discussions. And so on and so forth. The letter M. You can't erase the laws, but not the ass whooping. Real shit, you can't. We all saw what happened. We all saw the way it played out. We all saw that left hook that kept landing over and over and over in Devin's snack box. Now, like I told you, Devin already said the ship sailed on that fight. So if the ship sailed, why are you trying to fight Ryan? Now you're saying it's the biggest fight and we got to make it ASAP. But again, that's because Ryan Garcia was almost on the verge of fighting Shakur Stevenson. And then was like, damn, if Shakur beat him, that's going to make me look bad. Because he whooped my ass. Now I got to fight Ryan next. I got to get that fight before Shakur. And he jumped on it. All over this fight on social media. Check this out. Check this out. And I want to see what you guys have to say about this. Ryan Garcia said, Haney doesn't understand that he's the B-side. Devin responded by saying, let's understand you lost to Rollies one fight ago. I'm #1 in the division and on the pound-for-pound list. If you don't want to fight, just say that. Charles Bruce, he was just trying to fight Xander too. This man is comedy. Queeb, I think Haney was thinking he was in his crazy phase of his boxing career and how it would affect him physically as a boxer before his recent fight. Haney now has to rethink his statement. The real King George. And roll calling Hydra out. If he's in the classroom, he's probably late. Shakur hands salted. The letter M. Who will you consider the B-side in this? I'm going to tell you right now. Shakur hands, take that boat and roll out. Who do you guys think is the A-side in this fight? I'm going to tell you who's the A side. Honestly, I think that the A side should be obvious. It should be obvious. But if it isn't, I'm going to tell you who is it. And I guarantee you that's going to be the case. I guarantee you the A side is going to be who I tell you is the A side. There's no getting around it. Queef. Haney made himself a B-side fighter because of his statement. The real King George. Haney the B-side. So you guys are 100% correct. Devin Haney is the B-side. And I'm going to tell you why he's the B-side. You see how he's trying to say that he's ranked and he's, whatever he is, number one in the division and on the pound-for-pound list. So, who was the A side when Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford fought? Canelo Alvarez was the A side. When they fought, Terence Crawford was ranked number one, pound-for-pound in the world. Number one pound-for-pound in the world. So, your ranking doesn't make you the A side. Devin knows this. Devin knows this shit. Your ranking don't make you the A side. You know what makes you the A side? Your popularity. That's what makes you the A side. Your level of popularity. Who's the bigger star? Ryan Garcia is a bigger star than Devin Haney. And let me give you Exhibit A to prove that to you. Right now, you see Rollies want to fight Ryan. Shakur want to fight Ryan. Devin want to fight Ryan. Conor is talking about see you after my next fight. Everybody want to fight Ryan Garcia. Devin, you're the one that say you want to fight Ryan. Ryan was talking to Shakur. Ryan was going back and forth with Shakur on social media. Like, what's up? Let's do it at 140. And you showed up out of nowhere. Yeah, me and Ryan, it's the biggest fight in boxing. Son, you the B-side. You the one begging Ryan for a fight right now. Not only that, Ryan don't even want to fight you. Look, I'm going to tell you like this, my people. If Ryan Garcia want to do Devin wrong, if he want to do him dirty, he could tell him, you know what? I already whooped your ass. I don't want to fight you anymore. I don't want to fight you. You're not getting an opportunity. I would have gave you, but I'm not giving you an opportunity. Sit with that ass whooping for the rest of your life. He could do that if he wants to. He don't got to fight him. And since they're both world champion, guess what? Nobody's ever going to be mandated to fight nobody. So Ryan Garcia fights Devin Haney if he wants to. And who's calling out for who? Think about it. It's like I told you. Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, they seemed like it was this close. I mean, Ryan Garcia and Shakur Stevenson seemed like it was this close to that fight getting made. Just because of the way they was interacting on social media. And it's like I said. Ryan has a bunch of options. Everybody want to fight him right now. He don't got to fight Devin. But Devin, ooh, you took it. You took my words right out of my mouth. Kenneth Harvin. Now Devin needs Ryan. It's Devin who needs his get back because he's the one who got his ass whooped. He the one who need that fight. The real King George. Talking shit online is worthless. Just settle it inside the ring. I agree with you. But Devin Haney's going to have to accept that the A side is Ryan Garcia, my people. Ryan Garcia is the A side. There's no getting around that. The letter M. Garcia should leave this fight for after a Shakur fight. That Haney fight is in the pocket. Save it for later. I mean, if I was Ryan Garcia, I would have did that. I would have did exactly that. Devin, you're going to have to wait. You got to wait. But also, the reason it's interesting and why he can do that, because remember, If he goes down to 140 to challenge Shakur for his title and he loses, he's still going to be a welterweight champion. He'll still be able to fight Devin in a unification fight. So he could get both. Queen, I mean, he's not wrong by saying that because he did say, I don't feel a fight is necessary with Ryan. No, he didn't just say that. He didn't just say that. Devin said the ship sailed on that fight. We not fighting him no more. Because he dropped Invada testing. And now he's saying, oh, just enroll Invada testing ASAP and we're going to fight. This is the biggest fight. He went from saying, think about it. Devin Haney went from saying that fight wasn't happening to now it's the biggest fight in boxing and they should do it next. Charles Bruce, if we're being honest though, Jay Smith, this rematch has to happen. There's too many unanswered questions on both sides. I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. The rematch has to happen. And it's going to be very much anticipated. It's a huge fight. But Devin Haney has to accept that he's the B-side. You got to put ego aside and understand, yo, Ryan Garcia is the bigger star right now, and I'm the B-side. If he don't accept that, the fight's not going to get made. At least it's not going to get made next. Boxing hacker. Devin don't need Ryan. Ryan cheated. And Ryan is not the A-side. If Ryan don't meet Devin demands, Devin will move on. Ryan just fought Mario Barrios. That doesn't make you the automatic A-side. Come on, bro. Nobody said that fighting Mario Barrios make you the automatic A-side. You know what make you the automatic A-side? Being the bigger star. Now, you know, you have an opinion about what you think Devin should do or whatever. But I hope you're not going to sit here and say that Devin Haney's a bigger star than Ryan Garcia, because then you're going to embarrass yourself. Ryan Garcia is the bigger star out of the two. That's what make you the A-side. If you don't understand that, Jake Paul was going to be the A-side against Tank Davis. Let that sizzle in your spirit, my G. Jake Paul was going to be the A-side against Tank Davis. Jake Paul never won a title. Jake Paul has no accomplishments in boxing, but he's the bigger star. He's a bigger star than Tank Davis. He's a bigger star than most boxers. So he's going to dictate the terms of the fights. Ryan Garcia is a bigger star than Devin Haney. You would be delusional if you say otherwise. Clifton Dennis. Why would Dev just wait while Ryan keep losing and devaluating the fight? I mean, here's the deal. Devin Haney said the ship sailed on that fight. So he was acting like he didn't care about it anymore. But when he saw Ryan Garcia going back and forth with Shakur Stevenson, all of a sudden, now he jumps in the conversation. Yeah, you know, Devin and Ryan, that's the biggest fight in boxing. And we got to make this fight next and this and that. And even Bill posted about it like, yeah, you know, Ryan Garcia should be the next fight. If not, we'll move up to 154. So they the ones acting like they need Ryan Garcia. They the ones calling his name. They the ones showing interest in making that fight. You the B-side for sure. Shakur hands. They want that Rando Vada instead of regular 8-week program. So here's the deal. You could enroll in Vada testing 24/7, 365. Right? So the whole year you're enrolled in Vada testing for the whole year, not just for the training camp when you're about to fight. But here's the thing about that, Shakur hands. Every time Vada come to wherever you at to do testing, you got to pay them people, I think it's like $20,000, $30,000, bro. Every time. That's out of your pocket. They come test you, you pay for that shit. That's number one. You got to spend a nice chunk of money. Everybody don't want to pay that shit. That's number one. Number two, random testing means throughout the year that you could be with your family in a restaurant. And they could literally show up to that restaurant and interrupt your meal with your family to tell you, yo, we got to test you real quick. Pause whatever you're doing. Everybody's not trying to do that shit. But for the Barrios fight, Ryan Garcia was enrolled in VADA testing. And let me just say, the overwhelming majority of fighters who's enrolled in VADA testing, they enroll for the fights. They not enrolled 24/7, 365. So Ryan Garcia don't gotta meet those demands. Everybody doesn't do that shit. Shows and Productions in the building. Salute, family. Bam. I'm hearing Shakur fight very close to happening. They just can't agree on weight at the moment. So they're not trying to do it at 140, because I remember supposedly Ryan said he would go to 140 and take his title from him, but he also floated the catch weight of 144. Are they trying to do a catch weight, my brother? Shakur hands, boxing hacker. What are you doing over here? Haha. You're awake early. Boxing hacker's up early. Clifton Dennis. We all humans. Devin has the right to change his mind. Plus, he's saying the ship sale could be a failed negotiation tactic. You're right 100%. Number one, we do have, the right to change our mind. We think this and then we change and now we thinking this. That's right. And the ship sale part, it could also be a negotiation tactic. But to me, because he said that before Ryan Garcia fought Mario Barrios, and if Ryan Garcia would have got his ass beat by Mario Barrios, no way Devin Haney was going to want to fight him next, right? So I think that he thought Ryan Garcia was going to lose. And he was saying this ship sailed because if he does lose, we're not fighting you no time soon. And it turns out that Ryan Garcia won. I also think that Devin Haney saw Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson going back and forth on social media, and he was like, damn, I don't want Shakur to get that fight before me. Because if he does, he's going to beat him, and he's going to beat him before me. And I think that was a big reason why he said, yo, we need to jump in here and get that fight before Shakur and get that W before Shakur does. Boxing hacker. Devin Haney is a bigger star than Ryan Garcia now. Nah, you're 100% wrong about that, family. Look, hold on. Look, I'm going to prove it to you right now. The bigger star, my guy, the bigger star in boxing is not the guy that you like better. Okay, we got to understand that. The bigger star in boxing is not the guy that you like better. I need you to understand something. Right now, Ryan Garcia is amongst the top 10 most followed boxers on IG. Top 10. Devin Haney's not even in the top 20, I think. But I want to show you something because this is, and you guys know, the whole world knows at this point. Twitter and Instagram in 2026, they're the biggest indicators of popularity. Why? Because everybody has Instagram, and athletes, the overwhelming majority of athletes, have Twitter. So this is a huge indicator of popularity. So I want you to look at this, the boxing hacker. Take a look at this. Most followed world-class boxers on IG. Mike Tyson, number 1. Floyd Mayweather, number 2. Canelo Alvarez, number 3. Anthony Joshua, number 4. And who's at number 5? Ryan Garcia. Behind Ryan Garcia, you got Manny Pacquiao, Tyson Fury, Triple G, Surdo, and Usyk. Bro, those are the top 10 most followed boxers on Instagram. Now, this is a huge indicator of popularity, your IG followers. So I ask you, the boxing hacker, what measurement can you use to say that Devin Haney is more popular or a bigger star than Ryan? What measurement can you really use? Who's been in bigger fights? Ryan Garcia's been in bigger fights. without a doubt. Who's more followed across all social media platforms? If you look at them on Twitter, if you look at them on IG, if you look at them on YouTube, Ryan Garcia is followed, gets more views on all social media platforms. So what exactly are you measuring to say that Devin Haney is more popular? What are you measuring? Boxing hacker, bro. Ryan social media fans don't translate to boxing fans. That, you see, that's your problem, boxing hacker, that you're looking to formulate an argument that doesn't work, because popularity is popularity. I know that you want to say that it doesn't translate. I don't know how you decide that it don't translate, but he's more popular. Clearly more popular. And if you're saying that it doesn't translate to boxing popularity, I don't know how you came up with that. But ultimately, Ryan is one of the most watched fighters in boxing. How do you decide that those people don't translate? But boxing hacker, I'm showing you the proof. I'm showing you the data that shows that Ryan Garcia is more popular. The most popular fighter is the A side. That's just the reality. And I pretty much guarantee you, if Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney fight, Ryan Garcia is going to be the A side, bro. He's going to be the A side. That's just the reality, family. Deal with it. Accept it. Shows and productions. No, it's not offered at 144, 147. Oh, damn. No me digas esa vaina, Camachito. Like that, bro. By the way, Shows and One Productions. When you gonna come in on this show? I've been on your show, and I'm gonna keep being on your show. When you gonna join me on Boxing for Breakfast, my G, so we could politic about this over here? Boxing hacker, Shakur hands. I sent the cap. Clifton Dennis. Everybody shouldn't and doesn't have to do 365. But if you pop requesting, that is reasonable to accept. It's honorable. I mean, to me, this is my opinion. Vital testing should be mandatory for everybody when you fight. It should be mandatory for everybody. So you sign that contract, from the day you sign the contract up until the day you fight, we should be enrolled in vital testing. That's my opinion. But the whole 365 shit, hell no. You're going to spend a shitload of money to be getting randomly tested so they can make your life hell. Because it's like I told you, what these people who have all these money, who are millionaires like that, who can do, you know, things that we're not allowed to do, you don't want somebody showing up to do random testing when you're about to jump on the yacht with the family. You don't want to do random testing when you're out shopping for your expensive cars and your expensive jewelry and all this other stuff. You don't want somebody showing up, yeah, come over here. Pause everything that you're doing, because we only think about the testing itself, but we don't think about life, about somebody showing up randomly throughout the year at any time. That's why, in fact, there's athletes who have problems with random testers and got into arguments and everything, because they show with a certain authority, like, yo, you got to pause that. We got to do this right now, right now. But chill, no, we got to do this right now. And it's like, you're going to be authority over me? Man, shut the fuck up and get the hell out of here, you goofball. But if the fighter does that, then you're going to be like, oh, he tested positive. Because look, he didn't get tested. And it's like, nah, yo. Everybody don't want to deal with that situation, with those circumstances. The real King George, boxing hacker, a Devin Haney rider. Boxing hacker is a Devin Haney rider. You said it, not me. The letter M. Garcia don't care about titles. He will take the fight. Queen. Why are people saying that Haney is more popular than Ryan? I mean, I don't know. There is not one measurement that you can do to show numbers and say, look, Haney's more popular. Nothing. Haney's not more popular than Ryan Garcia in nothing. There is not a single platform that you can look at and say, look, Devin Haney got more fans. He's more popular. And when I prove to the boxing hacker who's more popular, he's like, yeah, but Ryan Garcia's social media followers, that don't translate to boxing. Huh? What the fuck are you talking about, bro? What are you even saying? Queen, why are people saying that Haney is more popular than Ryan when Ryan was during his crazy faith in his career? There was more attention on him, hoping he can shake it off and get back into his fights. I think Ryan is number 5. Trell Bruce, Ryan has the casuals, bro. He definitely the bigger star. Of course, it's not even close. Because here's the deal. Casual fans make up the overwhelming majority of fans. It's not us. Us hardcore fans that really following the sport and really know what's going on, we probably make up, like 30% of the fan base of boxing. We're probably like 25, 30%. Then the rest is the casual fans. They're the bigger part, the bigger chunk of the boxing fans is casual. And Ryan Garcia got them. There's people right now walking around who couldn't pull Devin Haney out of a lineup, bro. You put a picture of Devin Haney and 4 more people, and they don't know which one is Devin Haney. The level of popularity is not even close. I mean, you have to just look at this image right here. Think about this. This shows you the level of star power Ryan Garcia has. Look at every single person on that list. Ryan Garcia is the only one who's in his 20s. Age-wise, Ryan Garcia is the only one in his 20s. Look at Mike Tyson, retired. Floyd Mayweather, retired. Canelo Alvarez, mid-30s. Anthony Joshua, mid-30s. Then it's Ryan Garcia with 12.7 million followers. Tyson Fury, late 30s, close to 40. Manny Pacquiao in his 40s. Golovkin, retired. Zurdo, in his 30s. Usyk in his 30s. That shows you the level of popularity. In the top 10 most followed boxers on Instagram, Ryan Garcia is the only one who's in his 20s. The youngest one on the list. And he's number 5. He's not even last. This dude got more followers than Manny Pacquiao, than Tyson Fury, than Triple G, than Zurdo, than Usyk. Come on, man. It's okay if you don't like Ryan Garcia. You don't have to like him. But to say that he's not more popular than Devin Haney, that's crazy. That is crazy right there. It's hard for me to believe that you believe that, the boxing hacker. I can't believe that you actually believe that. I know you like Devin Haney, but you can't believe that he's more popular than Ryan Garcia. There's no way. Pause the track. Yes, Ryan is more well-known than probably all active fighters. Chosen One, Productions. Even the women know Ryan Garcia. Not Haney, with Garcia being a champion now even more. Plus, he got the looks. At least, that's what the women in my family say. I mean, that's the one thing. And it reminded me of Oscar De La Hoya. Remember how Oscar De La Hoya was the little pretty boy? And he had a lot of women that went to see his fights. Lots of women who were casual boxing fans, but they would go to the De La Hoya fights because they liked him. And the same thing with Ryan Garcia. He got the women on lock. Women go to his fights. He's extremely popular amongst female fans. Queen, in my opinion, maybe some people, hardcore boxing fans, might say Ryan is less popular because of his attention that he gets from his fan base, or many of the fan base of boxing altogether. The thing is, Ryan Garcia is a fighter who who gets a lot of hate because remember, he just won his first title. So the way people looked at him was like, damn, this guy never even won a title and he's so famous, so popular. Screw him. He don't deserve this. Well, now he's a world champion. Now how you going to hate on him? Boxing hacker. So who's more popular, Ryan or Tank? Tank's social media isn't as popular as Ryan. Today, right now, Ryan Garcia is more popular, bro. Tank Davis hasn't been. I'm going to remind you, and we're going to talk about Tank Davis in a few. Tank Davis hasn't been in the ring, bro, in a year. It was a year since he fought Lamont Roach. He hasn't fought. You got to understand, my G, boxing is a what have you done for me lately sport. Who's buzzing more on social media and everywhere? Ryan Garcia or Tank Davis? Nobody talking about Tank like that, bro. Now, when he comes back and he fights, he's one of the biggest stars in boxing right away. Well, he's not fighting right now. Pasta track. Simply put, even the girls follow Ryan because they in love with him. Ryan Garcia is super popular amongst the women. Ronaldo Miranda. Good morning, boxing for breakfast. Salute, family. Bam, boxing hacker. I see you there. Read that part. The letter M. Garcia has American and Mexican fans. And it's a huge following. That's another thing. With him being Mexican-American, he has a huge Mexican fan base. And one thing about Mexican fans are loyal, bro. Mexican fans, they stick with you. Win, lose, or draw, they rock with you. Pasta track, these people think Jay Smith don't know. They're going to find out, though, my G. They could think I don't know, but they will find out. Ramirez, if Garcia would try to unify with Rolly, y'all would destroy Garcia, but it be them same people saying, oh, Garcia ain't call out Rolly, he'll duck. But when the men fought Tank, that's respect. Now look, Ryan Garcia is a fighter who's been showing us that he's about that smoke. Y'all remember way back when he pulled out of the fight with Fortuna because he was dealing with mental health issues? And people were like, he's scared of Fortuna. He's scared. Then he fought Fortuna, stopped him brutally. But look, he's already been in the ring with Tank Davis. Been in the ring with Devin Haney. Been in the ring with Rollies. Been in the ring with Mario Barrios. Look at the resume. Next up, he might fight Shakur. Or maybe Devin. Either way, my peoples, Ryan Garcia's been showing us that he's about that smoke. You got to respect him. Shaggy. Salute, family. Pasta track. Yeah, the Jake Paul people. The real King George. Hydra got roasted. He didn't show for weeks. Boxing hacker should do the same. Mr. KO. Ryan been more popular than Haney since he fought Luke Campbell. Ryan was getting a lot of attention for having unusually quick speed and power, sometimes throwing punches you couldn't see. Al Booger. Okay, Surdo with the special guest appearance. Surdo Ramirez. Benavidez gonna pummel him. I gotta be honest. Kenneth Harvin. Ryan has 3 fights in the back pocket. Haney, Tank, and Rollies. He might get that Shakur fight, man. I would love to see it. Pasta track. Ryan was more popular than Tank when he fought Tank. I mean, look. Whoa. Boxing hacker with the super chat vibes. Showing love. Boxing hacker, salute, my brother. This ain't about the money. Never been about the money. But I appreciate the love, fams. Tank's social media isn't as big as Ryan. Does that mean he's more popular? Stop it, bro. His social media is mostly in teenage girls who don't watch boxing. Oh, come on. How you going to say that about his social media, bro? It's mostly teenage girls? Like, bro, we could go... Look, I'm going to call your bluff right there. Watch this. I'm going to call your bluff. You say his social media is mostly girls who don't watch... Teenage girls who don't watch boxing. So why I go to Ryan Garcia's followers? Watch this. I'm going to call your bluff right now, fam. Watch this. I'm going to show you that you cap. That's Ryan Garcia's followers right there. And I don't see no teenage girls, bro. I see a lot of supermodels and a lot of actresses and a lot of famous people. But I don't see no teenage girls in there, bro. I don't know what teenage girls you're talking about. It doesn't reflect. His actual social media don't reflect what you're saying, bro. So where you brought that, where you got that from? That was just social media people. Nah, bro. The social media, when you go in, if you go in his Twitter, if you go in his IG, it don't show what you're saying, bro. I see a lot of models. I see a lot of famous people. I see J. Cole follow Ryan Garcia. Jeezy follow Ryan Garcia. Speed follow Ryan Garcia. Like, I see a lot of famous people that follow him. I don't see all them teenage girls that you're talking about, bro. I don't see them. I do not see them, family. But I do see a lot of celebrities, and Max Kellerman follow Ryan Garcia. Carmel Moton, Zap Judah, Shakur Stevenson follow Ryan Garcia. Terrence Crawford follow Ryan Garcia. Like, bro, Oscar De La Hoya, obviously. Eddie Hearn follow him. Caipo Gallegos, the Charlo brothers. Bro, I don't know what you're talking about. I see a lot of celebrities, a lot of fighters. I didn't see a single teenage girl. Greg Hackett follow him too. Floyd Mayweather. Bro, I don't know. What I'm looking at here doesn't match what you're talking about. Boxing hackers, supermodels and actresses and girls are boxing fans. What? Why would you say they're not boxing fans? So if they go to Ryan Garcia fights and they watch, they not fans of boxing? Come on, man. Listen, whether you like it or not, whether you admit it or not, Ryan Garcia is a bigger star than Devin Haney. He's a bigger star, bro. As simple as that. You could say, no, but they're not boxing fans. They're fans of Ryan Garcia. You could say, look, let me show you how simple it is, boxing hacker. I'm going to get you again. Watch me get you again. Jake Paul was the favorite, was the A side against Tank Davis. What you got to say about that? Jake Paul has a bunch of YouTuber fans that ain't boxing fans too. He was still the A side against Tank Davis. What you got to say about that, boxing hacker? I'm telling you, you just never been on Box Center. You just don't understand that I could really cook you easily. Easily. Go ahead, tell me, why exactly was Jake Paul, with his YouTuber fan base that really ain't boxing fans, why was he the A side against Tank Davis? You've been ignoring that. Boxing hacker. I'm him, trust me. The real King George, boxing hacker, you probably cloned his account. Shakur hands. Hacker is a Haney. Every channel. We know your ways. Pasta track. Jake making $75 million a fight. And never mind the undercard. You see? That I'm bringing up Jake Paul to show boxing hacker that his argument is mad weak. It's beyond weak to say, no, but Ryan Garcia fans, they're not real boxing fans. Huh? Don't you understand that he's more popular regardless of what type of fans you say he got? More popular, more well-known, a bigger following equals the A side. Deal with it, bro. Accept it. You can fight for Haney all you want. And you can have an opinion all you want. But to say that Devin is more popular than Ryan, take that back, bro. Take that back, my guy. I don't want to... You showing love. You over here interacting. I don't want to cook you, bro. Just take that back. Don't make me do it. I don't want to. Shackle hands. Everybody be cooking hacker. He fighting though. No, he fighting back. He fighting hard. Shows him production. I don't agree that women are not boxing fans. I'm a promoter and manager, and we have many women fans. Plus I just did watch a party for Garcia versus Barrios, and women that train were there also. Of course, bro. Women, listen, that's like an old school mindset to say that about women ain't boxing fans and girls ain't boxing fans. That's even disrespectful. Like in your journey to fight for Devin Haney's honor and fight for Devin Haney's popularity, you don't gotta disrespect women, man. Women are following boxing. Women are supporting boxing. Women are showing up to fights. Women are fighting. Women are fighters. You don't see the popularity of the women today, the popularity of women boxers, popularity of Clarissa Shields, and all these other female fighters. Come on, man. Don't disrespect women like that. Pass the track. Ryan is the WBC champ. People going to hate no matter what. Boxing hacker. I mean, believe what you want. If Ryan's social media translate to boxing fans, all his fights would have been on pay-per-view. Cook me. I mean, bro, do you need more cooking than me telling you that Jake Paul was the A-side against Tank Davis? And you ignoring it, not saying nothing about it? Right there, you cooked. It's like everybody in here knows you're getting cooked but you, bro. The real King George. Jake Paul is a fake fighter. Look what Joshua did. Exactly, and Jake Paul not accomplished. Jake Paul never won nothing. Yeah, he was the A-side against Tank Davis because he's more popular, more famous. His fame and popularity translated to A-side. Pass the track. We used to have a fighting club in Worcester, Massachusetts, and I'm going way back to 06 fight scene, and chicks were there every night. Nah, man, boxing hacker, man, he disrespecting women out here. That's crazy. To say that women ain't boxing fans just because they fans of Ryan Garcia, like, in your quest to hate on Ryan Garcia, bro, you disrespect women like that? That's crazy. Pass the track. Chicks were at the fights every night. The letter M. There's tons of women boxing fans, and women actually spend money on what they like. Men would rather find a link. You know, it's funny because you're telling the truth, bro. Women actually order them pay-per-views. They're not trying to look for, no, they want to order the pay-per-view and watch it with the best quality. Women spend money on boxing. Real talk. The letter M. No, boxing hacker. Open your panel and we can debate it. Let's see who cooks who. I can't just open. I don't have the link right now. But at nighttime, I do be putting out the link every once in a while. And I'm going to tell you right now, every time somebody says what you're saying, when I come on at night and I put the link out there, they never show up. So I wouldn't expect you to show up. But if you do show up, trust me, you're going to get cooked too easy. It's going to be too easy for me to do it. Because you're going to be arguing from a super fan point of view. And I'm coming from an analyst point of view. You stand no chance, bro. You stand no chance. It's going to be like a first round knockout. You're going to be sleeping early. Troy Bruce, ain't no debate, bro. Like, you don't want to debate me. You're saying that on the comments. I'm not the guy you want to debate, family. It's going to be too easy. Shows and One Productions. Emiliano, look at the message I sent you about MVP. So we can talk about it on your show. You my guy. That's about Worcester, Mass. That's exactly where I'm from. My brother, let's see if tomorrow you can come on Boxing for Breakfast and we can talk about it, man. I'm going to definitely put some time aside for you so we can politic and let the fans see what you got to say. Pass the track. I'm sure women were at the Coliseum. The real King George. I'm telling you, man, I got nothing but respect for women in boxing, for female fans, for women that is getting in the ring and trading leather. Because you see, women boxing keeps growing. And the female fan base are not to be disrespected. They showing out. Look at the fights. All you got to do is look at the fights. When the cameras go like this, You always see a bunch of women. Women are going to the fights. The real King George. If Hydra was here, he would tell Boxing Hacker how he felt when he got cooked. Boxing Hacker, okay, give me a time we can debate. All right, look, I'm going to tell you like this. Tonight, everybody here, listen to what Hacker says, okay? Tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to go live. Boxing Hacker, I'm going to go live 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Show up. Show up. I'm going to handle you quick. It's going to be quick, easy work. Everybody going to know that you're getting cooked but you. You're going to see that making them fanboy arguments is not going to work. That only works when you're arguing with other fans. With me, you're going to get cooked, bro. Tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Show up and watch how easy you get cooked. I gave you a time. If you don't show up tonight, don't come tomorrow with excuses. We don't even got to talk about it. You don't got to tell me tomorrow, no, something happened and I couldn't be there and let's do it this time around. You don't even have to do all that. Don't worry about it. We'll just let it be. Pasta track. Jay's debate be like Tyson old fights. Let him find out. Let him find out. Let him find out, bro. It's going to be a first round knockout. It's going to be too easy. Shakur hands. They be ducking Jay Smith. They didn't ever get. And listen, I've had people trying to debate me with ChatGPT. Using ChatGPT. They don't know that I'm the human algorithm. Like, I know so much that I could tell when somebody using ChatGPT and copy pasting shit and still get cooked. I done beat ChatGPT, bro. Reeve J. Hacker then found his way over here. Hacker want to debate me, bro. He really think he want to debate me. You're going to find out. Shows in One Production. Yeah, I might be in NY this week and MVP called an emergency pressure. Whoa. I want to see what that's about. Emergency pressure? The letter M. We got a showdown at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Y'all gonna see Boxing Hacker get cooked and made to look easy. Easy work. Too easy. Reef J. Hacker will talk in circles and talk around the point. You can't do that with me. I'll bring you right back to the point and just keep cooking you until you just accept what's going on. Boxing Hacker. But it's got to be 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The letter M. Jay Stradamus is the A side. Listen, Boxing Hacker, this is the first time. I think, I'm not sure, but I think today's the first time that he's on this channel. So he don't really know me like that. Salute to Boxing Hacker. He's being a tough sport. He want to go at it with Jay Smith. Let him find out. I'll see you tonight, Boxing Hacker. And then you see what's going to happen. Boxing Hacker, as long as the debate is fair and you don't mute me, I'll be here. Nah, there's no need to mute. Listen, you're going to want to mute yourself, bro. I'm not going to have to mute you. My people, listen to this. Let's segue into this one right here. Terrence Crawford said, Shakur Stevenson will be an all-time great. All he has to do is keep doing what he's doing and stay focused. Do you guys think that Shakur Stevenson will be an all-time great? By the way, my people, salute to everybody tuning in to this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. You guys know it's early in the morning. If you're having breakfast, enjoy it. I'm about to have breakfast right now. I'm about to enjoy it. Pastor Trap agree with Bud. Trell Bruce agree with Bud. And I'm going to tell you right now. Shakur Stevenson. Remember when we was watching LeBron James? And you knew You knew he was going to be an all-time great. You knew that LeBron James was going to accomplish a lot in basketball. We watching the same thing with Shakur Stevenson. LeBron James has been getting all the hate in the world throughout his career. But look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie. Look at Shakur Stevenson. 28 years old, 3-division champion, unified champion, lineal champion, Ring Magazine champion. So the numbers just keep adding up for Shakur Stevenson. Of course he's going to be an all-time great. That's what he's there to do. Shakur Stevenson is not just fighting to make a lot of money, which he is already making a lot of money. But he's not just fighting for that. He's fighting for the right to say, I'm the best. I am the best boxer in the world. He's trying to get to that number 1 spot in the pound-for-pound list. He's trying to become the face of boxing. The guy. Trying to go all the way to the top. No easy task. There's a lot of fighters out there that are very skilled, very, that have the star power quality. The real King George. Boxing Quaker should be your name, hacker. Mr. K.O. Shakur accomplished a good amount in boxing already. And he has so much more time to be greater than Crawford. Take this into consideration. At 28 years old, Shakur Stevenson is already a 4-division champion. Floyd Mayweather became a 4-division champion, if I'm not mistaken, at 29 or 30. So Shakur Stevenson won titles in 4 divisions faster than Floyd Mayweather. Oh, no, 3 divisions, my bad. He's a 3-division champion, right? Or did he become a 4 when he won the title now? Whatever the case may be, my mind is blank right now. But he's ahead of Floyd Mayweather in divisions where he won titles at that age. Come on, my peoples. Pass the track. He got the tools. We know that. He's got to live that champion lifestyle, though. Markey. Thoughts on Conor Benn versus Regis Prograis, highway robbery. Conor Benn is robbing them people blind, y'all. He's getting $15 million for one fight versus Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis hasn't been a champion in years, hasn't won a significant fight in years, and has been pummeled a few times in his last few outings. Mr. K.O., 4 division, undefeated, former, unified, etc. Charles Bruce, 2-time lineal. Look at the accomplishments. While all these haters been trying to tell people that Shakur Stevenson ain't beat nobody, he ain't really done nothing, he only got 1 good win against Shakur Stevenson, against Teofimo Lopez. Look at the accomplishments. How do you accomplish so much and you get to number 3 on the pound-for-pound list, and you didn't beat nobody? Something ain't adding up. I don't like that fight. Regis out the door. Looked sloppy and slow in his last fight against a fighter in Jojo Diaz who couldn't count the doctor's fingers. I'm telling you. And it's not just that. Bro, they fighting at 150. They fighting at 150. What is Regis Progress doing at 150? He getting pummeled. That's what he's gonna do in the weighing that much. Conor Ben is gonna be much bigger, much stronger, and he's gonna have his way with him. The real King George. Mr. K, how your Avon business? Ooh. Mr. K getting that Avon money? Shakur hands. But he got a new trainer. Man, listen. Regis is too small. He's going to get pummeled out there. That's how I see this thing playing out. Mr. K.O. Regis agreeably taking 15 M's, knowing he about to get pummeled. I mean, I don't know how much he getting paid. I know Conor Ben getting 15 mils. I don't think Regis getting that much money. Because, you know, they're not going to go 50-50. So if Conor Ben getting 15, I could see Regis getting less than 10. I don't see him getting 10 mils. Queen, does he have to prove anything to his haters now? Are you referring to Shakur Stevenson? I mean, look, Shakur Stevenson just got to keep doing what he's doing. Just like Terrence Crawford said, keep doing what you're doing and stay focused. And that's it. That's all you got to do. Joe Bruce, Jojo had Regis on Dream Street. Yo, I forgot Jojo couldn't count the dock fingers. Yeah, bro, like, how you set the wrong number and they let it keep going anyways? God damn, bro. Like, yo. Shakur hands, Regis is done. He's done. Honestly, I believe that he's done. I think he could beat like lower level fighters, B-level fighters, but the guys at the top, they gonna beat him up. Marky, perfect fight for Ben. Progress coming off a win, 37 years old. Good for him to move up 147. If Ben wrecks him, it'll be a statement. It's at 150, bro. You gonna push little ass Regis to 150 versus Conor Ben? I mean, look, I'm gonna tell you why that fight doesn't make sense to me. And I want you to think about this. It's a one-fight deal for Conor Ben. So if it was like a 3-fight deal, Regis could have made sense. Because, like, yeah, we're going to make Conor Ben look real good, win with an explosive knockout, and then capitalize for the next 2 fights. But it's only a 1-fight deal. And I'm going to show you what's interesting about that 1-fight deal. Remember when His Excellency Turkey allowed Sheik didn't want to be involved in Boots fighting Lima for a tune-up at 154? Because he was like, no tune-ups, no cherry picks. I only want 2 fights. Then why the hell you back in Conor Ben fighting Regis Prograis? That's like a tune-up. That's a tune-up fight. Shows in production. Mike Zambides fight Mayweather, an exhibition fight in Greece, not Tyson. You know, I just seen Floyd posted about that. And I'm like, wait a minute, what's this? Who's this? I was surprised when I saw the post because I was like, oh shit, so the Mike Tyson fight is off? Which, you know what, I'd rather see Floyd Mayweather fight this dude than get in the ring with Mike Tyson. I'd rather see that. The real King George, boxing hacker, is surprisingly quiet or quietly. JJ said has good morning, J Smith. I'm here. Let's go get more likes for J Smith. Salute, family. Damn, fellas. We've been at this for an hour and a half. Not even 20 likes, man. Come on, we got to start with the ghost watching, my peoples. Pasta track. And Terrence really didn't start getting big fights until he was 32. By the time Shakur's 32, he should be retired with no one to challenge him. That's the thing, man. Terrence Crawford really had to grind it out to get fights. Shakur, you know, got the biggest fight of his career versus Teofimo Lopez at 28 years old. So now you're going to see him get big fights from a lot earlier than Crawford got him, and he's going to be able to accomplish more. He's not going to be able to get, he might not get undisputed in as many divisions, but he's going to be able to fight and beat more champions than Terence Crawford. Queen, so then is this the fight they want to do? This is not a settle to a bigger fight or a tune-up fight to take on someone better? I don't understand. You see, that's my point, Queen. Why would you sign Conor Ben to a one-fight deal and the one fight is Regis Prograis? That don't make no sense. $15 million? I feel like Conor Ben robbing them people blind, bro. Robbing them people blind. Taking their money and running with it. Side, he's fighting another dude. Yeah, he's fighting somebody else. Somebody I'm not familiar with. Some guy. Good morning, Jay Smith. Salute, family. Bam. Marky Prograis isn't a joke. He has good chance of schooling Ben. Nah, bro. I don't see that at all. I see Regis Prograis getting pummeled. Pummeled by Conor Ben. The letter M. Jay, gotta start ghost watching boxing promotions. Big up the likes. Salute, family. Pasta track. Hagler had a similar problem as Bud did. Hagler was like 38 wins deep before a title shot. The letter M. With all the robbery these promoters do, Ben, get your money. I'm going to be honest, man. What Conor Ben did, in my opinion, comes across as fucked up. That's the only way I could describe it. Fucked up. I'm going to tell you why. You remember when Conor Ben popped dirty? Yo, everybody was trashing him. Everybody was like, you're a dirty fighter. You don't deserve to be boxing. Fighters shouldn't agree to fight you. All type of shit. People wanted Conor Ben out of boxing. And if you watch Eddie Hearn had his back, my peoples. When everybody turned their back on Conor Ben, Eddie Hearn kept putting himself in front of a camera, praising Conor Ben, while people were like, yo, Eddie's crazy. That man, you shouldn't even touch him. And Eddie kept showing his support, kept fighting for him all over social media. Any interview that he could do about Conor Ben, you see him talking positively, talking about, you know, he's going to clear his name and Conor Ben will be back. And, yo, it's not easy. The easiest thing for Eddie Hearn to do would have been to just drop him. Be like, nah, look, we don't got anything to do with him. Whatever he's doing on his time, we don't know. That would have been the easiest thing to do. And a lot of promoters would have did that. Eddie stuck with him. Stuck with him. And then, look, got him those fights that made him a bigger star and made people forget about and stop talking about the steroid stuff, about popping dirty. Eddie Hearn got him to this position. For him to say, yeah, I'm out of here now. I'm going to go with these people. That looked kind of like a, Chris Eubank Jr. said it, that was a scumbag move, yo. No loyalty whatsoever. Pasta Trap, I hope Mike is healthy. Mike doesn't want to be fighting. I thought his cannabis company was doing well. Sucks seeing the champ having a fight at 60. So let me tell you, his cannabis company is doing really well. It's what I said before. I said that about Floyd. These guys, these fighters, they could have successful businesses, but nothing will make as much money as them stepping in the ring themselves. Because just think about it. If Mike Tyson Cannabis business made $20 million a year, that's a shitload of money. But Mike Tyson could make $50 or $100 million for one fight, for one night of boxing. That's the same thing with Floyd. That club in Vegas could be making $5-10 million a year. But what the hell is that when Floyd could make 100 for one night of boxing? So that's the double-edged sword of being a superstar fighter. That whenever you walk away from the sport, no matter how much money you make, you're not going to make nothing close to what you make by stepping in the ring and fighting yourself. If it's up to me, we never see Mike Tyson getting in the ring again, ever. JJ said it has 24 likes. Come on, my peoples. Hit that like button. Queep, I don't understand. It seems like Ben is being real selfish right now. Eddie now has to look at himself and say, I had to give him to Zuffa only for him to take 15 million. I mean, they even asked Eddie if he would be able to negotiate with Conor Ben after this. And we're like, I don't know. And I doubt it. I doubted that Eddie Hearn is going to say it. Come back to a match room after you went to the competitor. Jay is in the house. He gave him new life. Shakur hands. Eddie dropped Matias, shaking my head. That's part of it. And that's why some people say, oh, Conor Ben got to do what he got to do. What if he get dropped? The letter M. Ben versus Eubank Jr. 3. Gotta get made. I don't think that fight will get made. I think Chris Eubank Jr. had enough of stepping in the ring with Conor Ben. He don't want that fight. Shows in one production. He is a 45-year-old kickboxer and martial artist. Oh, is that the guy who's going up against Usyk? Are you talking about the guy going up against Usyk? That's crazy. And look, that's something, I even got it right here because that's something I wanted to talk about with you guys. I wanted to talk about that fight with you guys. Usyk versus Rico. So I'm going to show you guys, and I hate to say it, I hate to say this, but His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh is full of shit. Now I see that he has his guys, his fighters, that he'll give them certain type of fights. He got his peoples that he like. And I'm going to prove that to you right now. Usyk is about to fight a guy, and that's backed by Turkey. This fight, I don't think they're fighting inside the pyramid. I think they're going to set up a ring outside somewhere where the pyramids will be in the background as they fight. That's what I think. I'm not sure. Here's the point. Here's the thing that I want you guys to consider. Shows it on production. No, the one against Mayweather, but Usyk is the same situation. Yeah, Usyk is in that situation too. He's fighting a kickboxer. And this guy, the guy fighting Usyk, he has one professional boxing match like 10 years ago or some shit like that. And it was versus a guy with a losing record. So this guy fighting Usyk really ain't got no boxing experience. This dude ain't really got no boxing experience. And I saw an interview where, I don't know if it was an interview or a post, I can't remember. But His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh said that this is a real fight. And this is a dangerous fight. What you mean this is a dangerous fight? Shakur hands. What is older Sander Usyk doing? The letter M. They fighting inside the pyramid? Yeah, I don't think so, bro. Pasta trap. Usyk is going to smash him. Of course Usyk is going to smash him. But here's the magic question for you, my peoples. Remember, this fight is backed by His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh. He's the one backing this fight. Right? But let me remind you this, and this will make it funny. How about this, my peoples? Remember when His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh said that Boost couldn't get a tune-up because he don't do easy fights? He only do big fights? Boost couldn't get a tune-up. So, how come Boost couldn't get a tune-up, but now you got Usyk fighting a kickboxer? Usyk could get a tune-up? Let me remind y'all, my peoples. Usyk's mandatory is Caballero. That's his mandatory. He petitioned for a voluntary offense. Y'all remember he was trying to cherry pick Wilder, and that fight didn't happen. Now he's gonna get a kickboxer dude with one professional boxing match fighting for the WBC title. That's why I tell you, Mauricio Sulaiman is a goofball and a piece of shit. You telling me that kickboxer is getting a title shot? And His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh is going along with this? When he say he don't do tune-ups, he don't like these fights, only big fights? Oh, wait a minute. So what you telling me is that you don't allow Boots to do a tune-up. You don't allow Boots to get an easier fight. But you allowing Usyk to do it. You full of shit. You're not keeping the same energy with every fighter. That's exposing himself right there. Pasta track. Don't be telling me you're 35 or something. Fuck, bro. I get it, though. Sometimes the simple things are best. Pasta track 45. I'm 47, my G. 47 years old. I'm going to be 48 this year, June 21st. Yes, sir. So, my peoples, there you have it, man. I feel like His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh is full of it. Full of it. Some fighters, they need to fight the best out there. Other fighters, you like, nah, you can fight a kickboxer who we all know you're going to whoop his ass. Crazy work. My peoples, it's been a year since we got this fight. A year since Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach, one of the most controversial finishes in recent history. Come on now. Shakur hands and Jay preparing for the run this year. You know it. My peoples, this was one of the most controversial finishes in recent history. We all know how it played out. We all remember Vaseline gate, knee gate, running to the corner, getting your face wiped while the clock is ticking gate. Referee staring into the sky like he don't know what the hell is going on gate. Shit was crazy. Pasta track, Vaseline gate sounds bad. Damn word. But that was Tank Davis trying to say it was the Vaseline. We not talking about a Diddy party. You know, Coro in the eye gate. Whatever it was, my people, but this was a very controversial finish. We know how this fight played out. We seen Lamont Roach putting all type of hands on Tank Davis. Come on now. Shakur has not Vaseline. Super pause. No Diddy. But that's the excuse that Tank Davis had. That Vaseline went in his eye from the cornrows. Cornrows that he did like 2-3 days ago. Vaseline that been dry as hell. No, he got punched in the eye. That's what bothered his eye. It was that punch from Lamont Roach. We've seen the replay a million times. I shared the replay with y'all. It was a punch right in the eyeball. That's what it was. And Tank Davis took a knee. And I promise you, even Tank thought that he was going to get a standing 8 count. If you watch it, he took a knee and then just got up and went straight to his corner because he figured they're going to be counting. While they counting, let me go to my corner. Come on, man. This fight was crazy. And let me say, the controversy made us all kind of forget how good that fight actually was. Because it was good. It was competitive. And it played out in ways that we never expected, my people. Think about it. Pasta track Tank, we all know it wasn't no Vaseline. Hell no, it was no Vaseline. But Lamont Roach surprised everybody. The letter M, he punched the Vaseline out of him. Lamont Roach surprised everybody, my peoples. Because if you remember the way the fight played out, he was taking it to Tank Davis. He was actually walking Tank Davis down throughout the whole fight. And whenever Tank stood his ground to trade with him, Lamont Roach stood right there. Stood right there with Tank Davis, point blank range. Landed his shots. Making him miss and making him pay. No running at all. Nobody expected that. Even Tank Davis thought that he was going to have to chase Lamont Roach around, cut the ring off and do all that stuff. Nope. That's not the way that it played out. Lamont Roach fought Tank Davis in a way that it looked like Tank didn't expect it and we didn't expect it. Lamont Roach was out there trying to bully Tank Davis. Matter of fact, yo, Lamont Roach is the first fighter who I seen doing this. You know when Tank Davis counterpunch you? When he set you up for that right hand counterpunch, boom! Sometimes he comes back with the uppercut, sometimes he comes back with the straight. Right? Lamont Roach is the first guy who actually counterpunched Tank Davis' counterpunch. Think about that. He would set him up, let him counterpunch, boom, and counterpunch him off of that. That was crazy to see. Shakur hands, Roach, a good fighter. The PBC clan be calling him Lamont. Pasta track. Tank been protected. The letter M. I got to give Roach credit. He showed up with all heart. I mean, the way Lamont Roach showed up, man, we did not expect it. And I got to tell you, Lamont Roach absolutely deserved that rematch. And you guys recall the rematch was going to happen. They had a date and everything set up. And then all of a sudden, the Jake Paul fight, the Jake Paul exhibition was announced. And I said it before, man, that bothered me because that should have been Lamont Roach's payday. Lamont Roach's second opportunity on the big stage. And he didn't get that shot. Pasta track, right. And Tank whole game is the sneaky counters. Imagine somebody good enough, skilled enough to counter Tank Davis' counterpunch. That's crazy. Brandon Broussard, cheers, Jay Smith. Salute, family. Bam. Shakur hands. Tank said it won't be next. Man, listen. They were supposed to fight next, but all of a sudden, Tank decided to go in a different direction. Queen, when I was watching the fight with my dad, Tank should have lost a competitive fight, but he still lost. After the knee, he's screaming at the ref. What is he doing? That's down. Bro, listen. Because that was a GD promotion. That was a Tank Davis show. I've never seen a referee be more biased. than what we saw in that situation. Referees are human beings. Sometimes they don't do what they're supposed to do. And that referee's a real good ref. He has a real good reputation. But on that night, he did a horrible job. Number one, Tank Davis took a knee. That should have been a standing 8 count. In fact, they started counting, and then he just stopped. He was like, nah, no count. So right there, you stole a knockdown from Lamont Roach. That's number one. You know that makes it a 10-8 count. You stole that. Number two, Tank Davis turned his back and walked away to his corner. I've seen fights get called. You turn your back on your opponent and walk away, that's a disqualification. You gave up. Then, that's the second thing, right? The knee, that's one thing. Turning your back and walking away, that's two. But then, you have your corner go on the apron and wipe your face while the clock is ticking. Because remember, there's no knockdown, so the clock is still running. The referee never paused the action for anything. He's just standing there looking like a goofball. The clock is ticking while the round is happening. Your corner climbs the apron and wipes your face. What the fuck are we doing over here? Is this an exhibition or something? So when you take all those three things that happened right there, that could have been multiple point deductions. That could have even been a disqualification. Your corner climbing on the apron mid-round, that's grounds for disqualification. But Tank Davis is a big star, and the ref just let him do him. Sure, you could take a knee. Sure, you could go to your corner. Sure, they could wipe your face. I'm gonna act like I didn't see nothing, like I'm stuck. That shit was crazy. It was so real to watch that shit. I was watching that moment like, what the fuck? What? What the fuck is happening? What? They wiping his face? What is it? Like, I couldn't believe what I was watching, my peoples. That was the craziest shit I ever seen. Pasta track, that's more than a stolen round. That's stealing 2 rounds. Shows in one production. Calvin Ford should have known better than to take that fight. When you have a fighter that you know well because you sparred him so much, you don't fight him in a real fight. You know what I think Chosen won? Te voy a decir, Camachito, what I think. I think that they felt because Lamont Roach been fighting at 130, and you know Tank being a 135-pounder who's holding on to that division, but he's bigger than a 135-pounder. I think they felt like Lamont Roach was going to move up and they were going to pulverize him. Because if you remember the fight, the first few rounds, Tank Davis was his usual self. Real slow start, taking it easy. And then by round number 6, you saw Tank Davis trying to counterpunch with those hard shots that he usually knock people out with, and he just couldn't land those punches. He just couldn't do what he normally do to other people. Pasta track. What was the final score? Bro, the final score in this card was disgusting. I don't remember, but look at this. If I'm not mistaken, one judge had to fight for Tank Davis and the other 2 had it a draw. No judge gave Lamont Roach the fight. Nasty work. The real King George. Someone needs to go undercover at MVP and read Jake Paul contracts. Chosen one. Example, look what happened against Pitbull. Yeah, man, Pitbull gave him hell. Pitbull gave Tank Davis hell. But I think in a rematch, Tank would have got him. You know why? Because in that first fight, he did hurt. I think it was his left hand that he hurt in that first fight. Early on, too, like in the 3rd, 4th round. So really, he beat Pitbull with one hand. Trell Bruce, Calvin Ford wasn't his head trainer for that fight. I don't even think him and Tank were getting along at the time. They were not. They were not. They were having issues. And even in the fight, you will see that Tank Davis was kind of ignoring him, not really talking to him. At the end of the fight, too, you saw Tank kind of like not even looking at him. Chosen One Productions. Calvin Ford gave someone else an opportunity because of certain personal situation. but 4 always has a say. The letter M, 114, 114, 114, 114, and 115, 113. That 115, 113 card was in Tank Davis' favor. Nobody gave the fight to Lamont Roach. It was majority draw. Shakur hands. Roach beat Pitbull. The letter M in favor of Tank, shaking my head. They was trying to rob Lamont Roach. Clifton Dennis. Did Roach deserve the cards without counting the knockdown? I thought the draw was without the knockdown. Honestly, without the knockdown, I still had to fight for Lamont Roach. Without the knockdown, I would have had it 7-5. 7-5 in favor of Lamont Roach. And here's why. And I've watched that fight 4 or 5 times already. 4 or 5 times I watched it. When you watch the fight, if you're being honest, the first 4 rounds were clearly won by Lamont Roach. If you just watch it, who's really winning these rounds? Tank Davis didn't do shit the first 4 rounds. Started off super slow, wasn't throwing that many punches. Lamont Roach was walking him down. There's no way that you could give any one of those first 4 rounds to Tank Davis. Then it starts getting competitive. And they start going back and forth. But look at the championship rounds. Who won the championship rounds? Round number 10, 11, and 12. Lamont Roach won those rounds. And if you don't think he won all of them, you had to give him at least 2 out of 3. I saw him winning that fight without the knockdown. But here's the deal. The New York State Athletic Commission, if you guys remember, they reviewed it. They reviewed the outcome. Now, this is where you start seeing the bullshit bias in favor of the bigger stars. So the New York State Athletic Commission reviewed the outcome, reviewed everything, and they said, Bruce Guys, Boxing, Jazz, and more. Salute, family. The New York State Athletic Commission said that the referee made a mistake and that it should have been scored a knockdown. They admitted it. They admitted that it was a mistake. But we're not going to overturn the decision. What the fuck is the point of a review if you're going to leave it the same? What is the point? Don't review shit. Don't review anything. If you're going to tell me, yeah, we found a mistake, but it's going to stay the same. Now, you got to understand, once the referees admitted, once the Athletic Commission admitted that the referee made a mistake, that it should have been a knockdown, the right thing to do is look at the scorecards and that round, turn it into a 10-8 round in favor of Lamont Roach. And once you do that, he wins on 2 of the cards. And now he wins by majority decision. No, he wins on all 3 cards. He wins by unanimous decision. Or the one that Tank Davis was winning may have been a draw, but he's winning on 2 cards. He's winning. He won the fight. Based on the mistake that the referee made, Lamont Roach won that fight. Why would you review something, find a mistake, and not change anything? Because Tank Davis is a big star. And big stars get that preferential treatment sometimes. If it was a commission, I would have told them, listen, don't say anything. Just allow the result to say the results. I mean, it was so pointless for them to do the review. I remember we was all waiting for the results. Let's see what they're going to say. Let's see what they're going to say. And then they show up say, yeah, it's a mistake, but we're not overturning the results. Then what was the point? Arthur 94.5. Salute family. Bam. Hanging out in the Middle East. Yes, sir. The letter M. Can Roach sue simply that they admitted the mistake, but not changing it? I mean, he could have sued, but it doesn't guarantee that it's going to go in his favor. He would have had to spend a shitload of money in lawyers, wasting time. And I think he just didn't want to do all that. It's a process that you have to follow. That's why if you don't have like a shitload of money, most people don't even sue because they understand, look what I'm going to go through for this lawsuit and I can still lose the shit. Then I just wasted all my money. Queen, if it was the commission, oh no, the letter M, can Roach, Shakur hands, line reviewing team. Bro, listen, I don't even know, like I said, what was the point of reviewing it if you're going to find a mistake but not change it? That make no sense at all. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. When they was reviewing it, when they said that they were reviewing the outcome and what happened in that round, I say, yo, they're going to overturn it. I really thought that they was going to overturn it because I'm like, they're going to do the right thing. And the right thing is to overturn it. And now you're going to score that round 10-8 in favor of Lamont Roach. And that means that he won the fight. Nope, they did not overturn it. And then we thought we was going to get a rematch. Lamont Roach couldn't get that rematch. So ultimately, I do have to say, this was a real good fight. This was a real good fight. Obviously, it ended in controversy, but as far as the competitiveness of it, how exciting it was to watch it, good fight. Good stuff. And I hope that we could at some point get this rematch. Quick. So what happens to Tank? Now, does he just move on with his controversy, with this controversy over his head? I mean, like I said, man, I would like to see the rematch. I don't know what's going to be next for Tank Davis because it looks like he's going to come back this year. It looks like Tank is going to be back. And if he does fight, I tell you right now, he's going to be fighting at 140. We will never see Tank Davis at 135 again. Because I told you guys before, Tank Davis cannot continue to make weight at 135. He's a big dude. He not tall, but that frame that he got, he can't keep making 135. So he's going to fight at 140 where Lamont Roach already at. What if he comes back and goes straight to Lamont Roach? What if that happens? I'd like to see it. Queen, if you were the commission, what would you have done to fix the situation? I don't know. If I was the commission, I would have reviewed the video. I would have said, yes, that is a knockdown. That round should have been 10-8. And I would have turned those cards into a 10-8 round. And then I would have looked at the final score. And that would have been the winner of the fight. So I would have overturned it. That's the thing in boxing. They overturn it depending on who is the star. In this case, if they overturn it, it was going to affect the star in a negative way. Tank Davis would have took his first L. So they didn't overturn it. But what happened with Devin Haney when Ryan Garcia popped dirty? They overturned it, and he no longer got an L on his record. So you see, they overturn it when they want to. And when they don't want to, they don't. I'm going to give you another example. Watch this. Remember, because Ryan Garcia's fight with Devin Haney, it got overturned because he popped dirty, right? Okay. But you may remember, you may not, the first person to beat Alicia Baumgartner was Cristina Leonardatu. She's half Dominican, by the way. I met her here in Dominican Republic. She's the first person and only person to beat Alicia Baumgartner, Christina Leonard-Datu. She's a world champion now, right? Then she defended her title against Alicia Baumgartner and lost. Alicia Baumgartner popped dirty right after their fight. And what happened with that one? They didn't overturn the decision. They didn't give Leonard-Datu her title back. She had to just keep that L. And even though Alicia Baumgartner was suspended, she kept her title. Nothing was overturned, and she going on about her career. Everything is so good. So how come when Devin Haney lost to Ryan Garcia, that got overturned? But then when Christina Leonard-Datu lost to Alicia Baumgartner, that did not get overturned. She lost her title and she had to keep that L even after they found out that Alicia Baumgartner tested positive. So I'm showing you right there, it just depends on your level of star power. If you're not a big enough star and you lose, that's it. You're going to have to take that L. But if you're a star and you lose and we could change it around for you, we're going to get it changed. That's just the reality. Clifton Dennis, that's not fair. They always overturn on steroids. Clifton Dennis, I just proved you wrong right now. I just proved you wrong. Go look at Alicia Baumgartner, Christina Leonard-Datu. Alicia Baumgartner popped dirty. After beating her, they test her, you know, like after the fight when they test you, pop dirty. And they didn't overturn it. So right there, I'm showing you that your statement is 100% wrong. Go against Jay Smith and you're going to take a L. Clifton Dennis, no, Alicia won her steroid case ultimately. Come on, Clifton Dennis. Do you know how she won the... You tell me, look, I'm going to let you tell me, how did she win her steroid case? You tell me, Clifton Dennis. If you want to, I'll give you enough time to Google it. Go against the human algorithm. Go ahead, Google it. You know, since you take it, because, let me see. Clifton Dennis, Google is the B sample with temper with something of that, you see? Clifton Dennis, you cooked. You're cooked. Watch this, Clifton Dennis, how you cook. Now Google it and find out the truth. Google it and find out the truth. You know what happened? She popped dirty and she said she don't know how it got in her system. They did a review and determined that, yeah, she didn't know how it got in her system, so she's not guilty. That's what actually happened, Clifton Dennis. Go Google it, because obviously you guessed wrong. You assume that her B sample was good. Her B sample wasn't good, family. This is what happened when you go against the human algorithm. You say shit. Don't just make up shit out of thin air to try to make it a valid argument. Because I don't say shit out of thin air, my G. If you would have Googled it, you would never have said that. That it was the B sample. Nope. It was not the B sample. Alicia Baumgartner don't know how it got in her system. But then again, doesn't everybody say that? Doesn't everybody that get popped for steroids always say, I don't know how it got in my system. I don't know what happened. Doesn't everybody say that? But Alicia Baumgartner was telling the truth. But here's the funny part about that. So you don't know how it got in your system, but it was in your system. And you beat the champion with it in your system. So goddamn, you get to keep the title because you didn't know how it got in your system? Really? Really? So pause the track. No, not pause the track, my bad. Clifton Dennis, try again. Google it again. Find out the truth. And then get back to me. Get back to me, son. Don't do it to yourself like that. You cannot, listen, you've been here long enough. You've been on Boxing for Breakfast long enough. You know you can't make shit up out of thin air when you going at me, bro. Don't never contradict me with shit that you assume, shit that you thought. You really try to say that the B sample was clean, so it was tainted. Meanwhile, that shit had nothing to do with the B sample. Nothing to do with the B sample, family. Don't do it to yourself talking to J. Smith. The letter M. No fighter ever say, yes, I did it. Of course. And, yo, the most famous line, not just in combat sports, in baseball, everywhere else. I don't know how that got in my system. That's why Alicia Baumgartner basically argued that she don't know how it got in her system. And they did their investigation and determined, oh yeah, she really don't know how it got in her system, so she keeping her title. It's all good. Meanwhile, you beat the crap out of your opponent with steroids in your system, but it's not cheating because you don't know how it got there. So there you have it. For some fighters, they overturn it. For Dan Haney, he got it overturned. For Christina Leonardatu, she lost her title and had to keep that L in her record. They did her dirty. Shakur Haney, the real king. How did all of them get cooked? Not in one day. Troy Bruce, I'm over here, Alicia, drug allegations the same way Casuals overlooking Ryan drug allegations for obvious reasons. I mean, you know, Alicia Baumgartner, she fine as hell. That's part of it. She fine as hell. She's a big star in women's boxing. She popped dirty. Let's not play dumb. She popped dirty. It was no B sample. Notice how quiet Clifton Dennis been. Notice how quiet Clifton Dennis been since he said, no, Alicia won her steroid case ultimately. It was the B sample. Clifton Dennis ain't say a word after that. He Googling everything under the sun to try to find an explanation. Not Clifton Dennis. Google is not going to help you beat me in this one. No, take this L. And don't disappear like the Hydro Grind Clifton Dennis. Come back over here and be like, damn, Jay, yeah, you was right. It was no B sample. I try to make that shit up in the heat of the moment. Don't make shit up when you going at me, bro. Eye for eye, Jay Smith, what's up, brother? Who we cooking? Clifton Dennis out here getting cooked right now. Mag 7 Life. Tank beat Roach. Tank beat Roach. I don't know how you came up with that. The fight was a draw, but Tank was gifted that draw. We all know that. JJ Sendejas. Where's the beef? Shackle hands. She ain't been beating people the same lately. Her fight's been different. Man, I want you to go back to the Christina Leonardatu fight, the presser for that fight, when Alicia Baumgartner go like that. Yo, you see them arms and them shoulders looking like goddamn Arnold Schwarzenegger. She ain't never looked like that again. Never looked like that. Eye for eye. I went to the Shields fight, bro. It was lit. I could imagine, yo. Shields and DAZN, they went at it. Of course, Clarissa Shields, you know, she's the best. Period, point blank. Period, point blank. Clarissa Shields is the GOAT. Jason and Chef J. Smith, the 5-star chef. They got to understand it, bro. We a 5-star chef over here. Go hit me with some bullshit that you made up out of nowhere. Nah, it was the B sample. It was because of the B sample. And fighters, when they test positive, it always get overturned. Clifton Dennis haven't said a word since. He been Googling for dear life trying to figure out an explanation. Trent Thomas, Tank got a pass. His was solved. I mean, he got a pass. They looked out for him. They took care of him. Eye for eye. Lil Boozy short as hell, bro. I mean, look at the name. Lil Boozy. Anybody that you see got that Lil in front of it, 9 times out of 10. And I'm going to tell you something, man. People got to be more creative with their name. The only Lil I recognize is Lil Kim. Then everybody else, get out of here with that shit. I don't want to hear it. Come up with your own. Be more creative about your name, bro. Jason Dallas, he went to work, Jay Smith. Yeah, he must have had to go to work right after getting cooked. Shakur hands, but at least Cliff be fighting. He never ducking. Oh, no, he about that smoke. But this time it looked like he got slept. Max 7 life. Tank so great. If he go 12, he lost. Shakur hands, JJ. We be at work here all the time. Trevor Bruce. Lil Wayne the GOAT though, Jay Smith. Oh, nah, Lil Wayne, he a GOAT. For sure. My peoples, I'm about to end this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The Real King George 3-0 undefeated Jay Smith against Clifton Hacker Hydro. Now, those are the names you know about. Trust me, man. The undefeated record like 99-0 at this point. My people, once again, salute to everybody who tuned in for this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Beautiful Monday morning. Salute to JJ Queen, Pasta Track, Eye for Eye, The Real King George, Trail Bruce, JJ's and their house, Shaku Hands, Mag 7 Life in the building. Who else? Trent Thomas in the building. Chosen One Production, Camachito, hermanito mío. Salute family. The letter M. And everybody else who tuned in, man. I appreciate you guys. Y'all know how we get down. Tomorrow's episode of Boxing for Breakfast, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be talking about what's next for Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Tank Davis. We know he might come back this year to boxing. We're going to be talking about a lot of these upcoming fights. So make sure you tune in. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. And yo, chill out with the ghost watching, man. For this episode, we might have got, I don't know, 800 views, 1,000 views. I don't know how much. But damn, we didn't even get to 30 likes. That's nasty work. We got to start with the ghost watching for 2026. Whoa, Clifton Dennis came back. Clifton Dennis came back after getting cooked. Clifton Dennis, technical report arguing that urine sample can yield false or unreadable results if not handled properly, and the urine testing in general is less reliable than other methods. Clifton Dennis, an independent hair test that detected no blah, 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 or other steroids, which she said ruled out intentional chronic use. I knew it was going to take you a long time to try to Google something. None of that proves that she was not doing steroids. None of what you said. I know you was Googling, you was fighting for dear life, but ultimately, it's not what you said. You said it was the B sample. It was not the B sample. It wasn't a tainted A sample like you said. So you Googled it to try to get at her from under the bus. You didn't get from under the bus, bro, because she still popped dirty. And her explanation was that she don't know how it happened. Come on. Listen, Clifton Dennis. I thought you was just going to come back to say, yeah, you got it, Jay. You got it. She popped dirty, bro. Alicia Bumgarner popped dirty. Clifton Dennis, I didn't make anything up. I heard these type of reports. No, the B sample stuff, if you didn't make it up, then you read it from somebody who made it up. There was no such thing as she had a clean B sample. She popped dirty. Remember what you said, that when somebody popped dirty, it always get overturned. Nah, it don't always get overturned. It get overturned if you're not a big star. If you're a big star, it'll get overturned in your favor. But if you're the big star and you pop dirty, it might not get overturned because Alicia Bumgarner kept her title after popping dirty. My peoples, I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. We're going to talk boxing. We're going to do what we do. Salute to everybody who tuned in this morning. Salute to Clifton Dennis, man. We always going at it. Bam. We out of here, my peoples. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow, man. One love.